everyone, welcome to another video, sorry. Oh my goodness, welcome to another video from this page from Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. We're trying to do all of the little trinkets on the page, and today we have this magnifying glass. Hi to everyone who's joining me live. Hopefully I've remembered to be in the chat and say hi to you. If I don't reply, I've forgotten, or I'm making a video, or I'm on the phone or something. But anyway, chat amongst yourselves if I'm not here. To those who don't know what I'm on about, the videos are all premiered, which means that they show when they first appear on YouTube. You can jump in, you can there's some live chat you can join in with. You can set a reminder as well so that you know to come along and sort of join in the fun, as it were. So let's get going with the magnifying glass. Now we're using the Faber Castell Polychromos, as I have been for all of this page. I just thought it would be better to stick to the same pencil brand all the way through. And I've decided I'm going to do the handle wooden, and then we'll do a sort of plastic piece around here. There's a bit of colour on the page here. Maybe I'm just imagining it. It looks a bit there. I might have dropped a pencil and squidged it on the page or something. And we're also looking a little bit dark there. No, my camera just adjusted. I moved the light and the camera adjusts. Never mind, we'll do our best and carry on. This is raw umber, which is going to be my sort of base for the wood. I'm going to take the wood from the end all the way up to this bit and do all of this in a woody colour. So I'm just going to start with a light layer of this. This is going to be a sort of base layer, and then we're going to add some details. Now with wood, it has a wood grain, as well you know, and so if you colour with lines showing like that, it doesn't matter because it just looks like it's all part of the wood grain. So that's quite a joy in doing wood, and we're actually going to emphasise that wood grain eventually as well, so it won't even matter. But before we do that, we've got our base layer, and we're going to grab a slightly darker pencil. What should we go for? We'll go for this one. This is the Dyck Brown. I'm not sure if you can ever see any of that. I'm going to sharpen it a tad. It doesn't need to be really sharp, although it probably will be when I've finished. But I need to get into the edges. Well, I want to do the shading to start with, to make it look a little bit more, zoom in a tad. There we go. Oh, that bit, I think that needs to be wood as well. Like that. So a little bit of shading just to make it look a bit more rounded, and then we'll think about wood grain. So I'm going to go around the edge of here, because this looks to me like it's sort of spherical. We'll just make it a little bit darker and just lighten that as we go towards the middle. We do this a lot, and the same here. Now here each side, I'm trying to go over the top of the black line a little bit as well, but it's quite tricky to do that without going out of the line. I just have gone out of the line, but you know me, I'm always going out of the line. So, you know, it is what it is. The darker you make it, the more of a contrast you'll have between the edge and the centre, and the more sort of shaped it will look. But obviously you can overdo it. So put a bit each side of these ones. Now I'm also thinking about how some of these bits will be set in and some will be sticking out. It's not a good use of words, isn't it? I'm trying to find you something that might show you an example. So you've got a pen here. This is the company my husband works for. So this is not a really good example, so no, it doesn't really show you. So like with this pen, with the lid is sticking out a bit from the other bit, and there'll be shadow under the lid. That's what we're going to try and do with this. So I think this bit's sticking out, this bit's in, this bit's out, this bit's in, this bit's even more in, this bit's out, and this bit's in. So we're going to take a darker brown. I think I use this one. Need to give it a really good sharpen this time because we're going to do some very thin lines if we can. So this is the Walnut Brown. Okay, so it's just a darker one. If you don't have these, just like we've got, if you look at the shades, we've got light, middle, dark. It's just quite straightforward. I'm gonna not do very much with this one, just a little bit on each edge. I'm gonna leave that. Now this one I'm thinking there might be a little bit of a shadow from the edge here, and I'm also gonna emphasize that a little bit each side. Now here I think there'll be quite a shadow where I think this bit is sticking out more, and again a little bit on each end, and put a little bit there, but it's going to be more under here like that, and then a bit under here. Again, I'm just going to do a little bit on the edges of each of them like I did on the other side. Right, sorry, the telephone rang and I have got totally, I've got no idea what I was doing or saying, so I apologise for that. I can't roll back the video and watch it because I might accidentally delete it. I'm not exactly techie, but we're going to try and carry on. What I want to do is make this wood look a bit more wood-like. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to use my dark sepia. It's a little teeny pencil, and I'm going to draw some lines. I'm just going to adjust. I've got a book underneath and it wasn't in the right place. Just going to draw some lines on. Now actually, and I find it makes it look a bit more wood-like. It needs sharpening. It needs to be really, really sharp to do some really fine lines. Yeah, the phone rang, and then I may have said that my husband had gone to the hospital. My son had an orthodontics appointment. He goes to the hospital because he sees a specialist. It's nothing serious. And anyway, while I was on the phone, they came back. So I actually had to then cook tea and get on. So it's actually the day after. So I started this yesterday. So there are a few little wood grainy lines. It's up to you if you add those or not. I think it just makes it look slightly more woody, but you may not want to do that. That's fine. And my plan was to do the circular part as if it was made of plastic. I thought I would just do it in a colour, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. You don't have to do this. You could just do it wood or maybe metal. Not sure. But I thought I would do it in a blue colour just because we haven't used a lot of blue. So I'm just moving my tin a little bit and picking a blue. It doesn't really matter what colour you pick. I think I just picked this one. This is Cobalt blue greenish. It doesn't want to show up, of course, in the camera. I shall sharpen it just a little bit. And we'll do a sort of initial layer. It's got a bit dusty. It's only been open overnight, but anyway. It's not quite as dark as I had thought, but what I'm going to do is just put a layer all over, and then we'll see how it looks and think about what to do with it with regards to any shading or anything like that. And we have obviously got the glass bit to do at the end. And you notice I have been procrastinating that bit till the end. Glass is tricky, but there are different ways that you can do it. And I'll show you an idea and you can decide whether you like it. You know, it's quite good to experiment and try different things. You know, we've got a lantern up above, which you can't see. It's not in shot. Now I ignored the glass on that, but you could draw a few lines of white across to make it look as if it's shiny, something like that. Now I'm having a little think about this. I'm thinking maybe it'd be a little bit darker down here and a little bit lighter as we go up. So I'm just sort of building up the colour a little bit. Like that. So I have been premiering this little series. I don't premiere my videos that I release earlier in the day, well in the UK earlier in the day, just because the time is wrong for me. I'm just going to erase that bit where I went out of the line. They tend to come out during breakfast time, so unless it's a weekend or school holiday, well I say school, I mean college, you know. I'm going to do another layer of colour. I want it to look quite solid. Then I can't be available to do that, so I could change the time, but I know people are probably used to the times that I release videos, so I just thought I would have a go at premiering the afternoon ones, and it means that you can set yourself a reminder for when they're coming out. And I'm just thinking about this at the same time as talking, and you know, you can come along and chat to me if I remember to come along and be there. So you know, that was I'm sort of experimenting with that. I'm not sure if people like it or not, if they just like being able to watch at their leisure, which obviously you can do anyway. Now I'm going to use this sky blue to do a layer on the glass. Now this bit's obviously coloured in as if it's going to be some reflection. I am going to colour over that and do it in white pen. Now you could, if you've got no white pen, do leave it, but the paper in this book is slightly cream, so it doesn't look perfectly white. So I'm going to go over it, as I say, in white pen. So I'm just colouring over it. I find it easier to get a nice even colour if I'm not trying to go around a fiddly detail. So I'm colouring over it. Okay, so that's my initial layer, and then I'm going to get some grey. I want a cold grey colour. So I'm going to use Cold Grey 3, it's one that I tend to get out for this sort of thing. And I'm going to do some sort of diagonal lines like this to try and make it look like there's sort of some sort of reflections and shadows across the item. So it looks a bit like it's catching a light sort of thing, to make it look a bit more glassy. I don't know how well that has worked. I think I might need to go all the way to the edges. It's just a bit of an experiment, really. There we go. And then I'm going to get a white, and I want a really good white. I'm just trying to look, I put it away in the wrong place. I'm going to use my Posca. It's quite a thick nib, PC1MR. It's a 0.7mm. It's the thinnest Posca nib, but I do have white pens with thinner nibs. But this is a fairly large area I'm going to fill in. In theory, if it starts to come out, there we go. The paint's coming out, or at least trying to. Hang on, I'm just going to give it a shake as well. I think you can see it's starting to come out. Now you can go over the top of the black line with the pen as well, which is sometimes a good idea, because then it sort of vanishes it. But on the other hand, with it there, it outlines that shine, and now it's gone. So the white is probably less obvious than it would be if the black line was around it. And also this is quite pale. If this was a bit darker, it would show up more. I'm going to put a little bit here as well, like that, to make it look a bit like it's shining there. So what I would probably say is, to get the idea of shine on here, you would need to make this quite dark. I wanted it to be quite light, so I'm leaving it like that. But it's up to you. Have a fiddle around and do something a little bit different if you want to. But hopefully that was okay. I just sort of feel like I'm getting back into it because I left it part the way through. It was a bit disjointed. I would prefer to sort of do it in one whole session. But anyway, that's that one done. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you're colouring along, or at least colouring something while you're listening. So and I'm also starting to think about what to do with these little stars, and I will reveal probably on the last video of the series, because I'll probably just keep thinking. But thank you for watching. I shall stop waffling on now, and happy colouring.